Unfortunately, Dr. Grisani just had a call from the district and he does need to leave. Dr. Grisani, we would like to thank you for joining us this afternoon and sharing your insight. Thank you once again. Good luck.
Well, let me try to.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Stephanie. Thank you.
I have 4 or 5 quick comments on what was said. First of all, the only thing that really surprised me was with these regulations was that the timeline starts next fall and not this fall. Given SED's past record, I'm surprised we didn't start it the day after we approved the regulations. I don't think we're going to have the same hubbub as the Common Core, and I certainly hope not, because if we do, if this becomes the kind of battle, as I suggested before, between general ed parents and ELL parents, we're all in trouble. That will be a battle that we don't want to see. And I, frankly, having talked to some of the parents, I found a difference of opinion. By the way, in 1974, I was elected to the state of Michigan's school board. The issue before us at that point was ESL versus bilingual education, and which was better and which was not. I still think there's a real duality of thinking on this, and I'm not sure we have a definitive answer, but we are trying to get a definitive answer in this document. I've had parents already call, including Senator Martins, who feels that he wants his kids in that ESL class, and he doesn't really want them to be taught through bilingual education. He wants them to be immersed, and I know my parents were that way too. You know, our forefathers came here and they were shoved into English classes, and that was the way they learned, and that was the best way. You get the debate going all the time. I agree that there will be a shortage of teachers, and a very difficult one. And in addition to the personnel costs, if you can find the teachers, and transportation costs, as you mentioned, there will be capital costs, because from what I've heard from some of the districts, they're going to have to either build new classrooms or get trailers or whatever else to be able to fit the program into their districts. The other thing that and we'll go into, this is really the issue that Senator Flanagan brought up before. I have been trying since I've been a regent to not just, I don't feel like I'm representing Long Island, because we don't. The policies that we create are really state policies, and but my input that I get, because I'm out virtually every day in schools, certainly comes from Long Island. So I'm hearing from our people, whether it's parents, teachers, students, administrators, and I can't understand, since our whole approach at the regents level is to make sure that we have differentiated teaching for different needs of different kids, and so we're trying to. The whole purpose of some of the reform measures were to get diagnostic testing so that we can have differentiated teaching to our kids. Well, A, we don't have diagnostic tests, so that's a problem. It was supposed to be diagnostic. And B, we don't have the professional development to be able to have teachers do differentiated teaching. More importantly, I've been saying that we ought to be differentiating districts from each other. There are districts most of the districts on Long Island have very different needs than New York City or the other 4 big cities. And yet the programs that we're mandating or putting into effect seem to be for every district. And they are not for us, but they're counterproductive for so many of our districts on Long Island. I would say there's 4 or 5 that are in difficulty and high needs that need special treatment. But I'll even go as far as to say, as I've said at Regents meetings, which I know Senator Flanagan won't want to hear, probably, but I've said, look, if we have to adjust state aid so that the resources go with the new responsibilities for districts and leave the responsibilities for districts that succeed out of the mix so that we don't have to spend money and resources on things that we don't, not only don't we need, but are counterproductive. I'm willing to see that adjusted. But again, I get the same complaints that Senator Flanagan does. You're politically incorrect by even suggesting such a thing. And it is difficult, and maybe it's going to take the one advocate that we have in the state for children. There's only one, by the way, that's the governor. You've all heard that, I understand. If he would take a leadership position, I think maybe it would be helpful.